Hi everyone, I'm Prajakta. I've been with Dell and on Pravega for the past 2 years. And today I'll be talking about consumption-based retention, which is an experimental feature in 0.9. And this feature primarily deals with how Pravega handles retention for its streams. So before we jump into consumption-based retention, I'd like to give an overview of how data retention is done for Pravega streams today. So a stream can be configured to have no retention policy at all, which essentially means data is never auto truncated, but of course manual truncation is possible. Or it could have a size or time-based retention policy. What this means is in the retention policy, users could specify a min limit beyond which if the stream specify a min limit so that it's an at least limit, and so if the stream grows, at least as much data would be retained as is required by the size and time limit. So truncation for data retention is done at periodic intervals at every retention cycle. It's done by the controller. So every time the retention cycle runs, a new stream cut is generated at the tail of the stream, and a truncation can happen only at a specific stream cut. So when a stream is found to have more data than the configured retention limit, it is truncated at a stream cut such that it satisfies the policy. So let's look at a Pravega stream with these segments running from S1 to S12, and the orange dotted lines represent stream cuts taken at periodic intervals. So assuming we have a tail stream cut SC6 and the size-based retention limit is set to 30 gigs. So what we would do is we would calculate the size of the stream starting from the tail stream cut to every earlier stream cut. And at that particular stream cut where our min size is satisfied, we would choose to truncate the stream. So in this particular example, at SC1, the size of the stream is about 100 gigs, which means between SC1 and SC6, the volume of data is 100 gigs. SC2, we have 80, SC3, we have 65, and SC4, we have 50 gigs. At SC5, we have 25 gigs, but this cannot be chosen because we need to maintain at least 30 gigs of data in the stream. So we choose SC4 as the truncation point. So this is broadly how data truncation happens in the stream. There are a few limitations of this approach, and one of those is that stream truncation is completely agnostic of reads of the data by reader groups. So unread data could be lost, and in certain environments where the storage space is limited and streams tend to consume a lot more space with this approach of data retention, there is no max limit on stream size. So for environments like edge environments, this can actually be problematic. So that brings us to why CBR or consumption-based retention. Some streaming use cases don't require data to be stored over the long term, and once data is read by specific reader groups, it can be deleted. Certain environments like edge gateways could have constraints on storage capacity, so we need to move data out as soon as it is read. And so this is precisely where a consumption-based retention policy helps. So what exactly is CBR or consumption-based retention in Pravega? So CBR provides that a stream truncation can happen based on read positions of specific reader groups reading from the stream. These reader groups need to be created as subscriber reader groups. Read positions of non-subscriber reader groups do not impact stream truncation. And the stream retention policy also has a max limit in addition to the earlier min limit that was discussed. What the max limit here means is it's an at most limit beyond which we wouldn't want the stream to grow. So how does one configure a consumption-based retention policy on a Pravega stream? So the existing retention policy for a stream can stay as is. To enable CBR, what we need to do is update the reader group's configuration on client to be a subscriber reader group. If all reader groups for a stream are non-subscribers, essentially that means there is no consumption-based retention, and the earlier retention policy that was in force would continue to be used. Optionally, we could also set a max value, which is an at most limit on the stream retention. This defaults to long max if it is not set. So a subscriber reader group with CBR periodically publishes a stream cut corresponding to its read positions in the stream to controller. This stream cut is stored on controller, and when the retention cycle runs, stream cuts from all such subscriber reader groups are used to compute a single subscriber lower bound stream cut. This subscriber lower bound stream cut is essentially a stream cut that makes sure we don't lose unread data from even a single subscribing reader group. So, which is why it's called a lower bound. The stream is truncated at this subscriber lower bound stream cut subject to the min-max limits that are set on the stream retention policy. Essentially, what that means is if the subscriber lower bound is between the min and the max satisfying stream cuts, then we choose to truncate the stream at the subscriber lower bound. If the subscriber lower bound is less than min, which means truncating at the subscriber lower bound will leave less data in the stream than the min required, then we choose to truncate at min. If subscriber lower bound is greater than max, then we choose to truncate at max. So as I had mentioned earlier, to trigger or to enable consumption-based retention, the only change that is needed is on the reader group configuration. There is no change needed on the retention policy for the stream. And there's a retention type parameter that has been added in the recent release, which can have 3 possible values. The first one, automatic release at last checkpoint, is selecting this option basically makes sure that a subscriber reader group automatically emits a stream cut corresponding to the last checkpoint as a read acknowledgement to controller. So to say that it's safe to truncate the stream at this point because I have completed reading up to this point. The other option is manual release at user stream cut. So if the user chooses this option, what it means is the user has to generate a manual checkpoint and publish a stream cut corresponding to this checkpoint using the update retention stream cut API. And there won't be any automatic publishing of stream cuts from client to controller. If the user chooses the third option, which is also the default, it essentially means there is going to be no consumption-based retention for this particular reader group, and its read positions do not impact stream truncation. Yeah, so that's all from me. Any questions?
Are there other systems that have a similar, I guess, subscription truncation or?
Well, I have not found this feature in any other streaming systems, at least.
Individual message acknowledgement might be.
Yeah, they do have message acknowledgement, but what this does is based on the acknowledgement, it's doing deletion of data in the stream.
So a quick question. In one of your slides, you talked about max and lower stream bound, like lower
min
limit,
and max, right? That's right.
Yeah. So what happens when the max is lower than the stream? What is the right term there? Stream cut, lower bound.
Lower bound. Yeah, subscriber lower bound.
Subscriber lower. Sorry about that. Yeah. So subscriber lower bound is greater than max. What happens, and does that mean we lose data?
Yes, that does mean we lose data because essentially the user has configured the stream such that we never want to maintain more than as much amount of data.
Yeah, understood. So, no, I just wanted to confirm that. My
yes,
understanding was correct.
That's how it will be.
Okay.